IBM content is on point. Let's see what they got for us in terms of careers in cybersecurity.
Take a look at those two numbers. The first one is the average salary of a cybersecurity professional in the US. Nice numbers. The second one is the number of positions that are open in the US, 750,000. And the good news is it's increasing.
Amen, let's go. That's why I transitioned from high school English teacher to cybersecurity. Numbers just like this. All about it.
The number one question I get on my LinkedIn after people see these videos is, how can I get a career in cybersecurity? So I'm recording this video to give you an idea, some of the answer to that. So what I want to provide you with are some of the things that will get you to that point. So it involves training, it involves credentials, it involves a career path, and then ultimately stay to the end and I'm going to show you some resources about how you can go collect your version of this as well. So first of all, let's start off with training. So what do you need to know in terms of being a cybersecurity professional? Well, the training aspect, one of the options that's been the traditional one, this is the one that I went through, but not everyone has to do this, as you're going to see. Bachelor of Science in something like computer science or IT.
I agree. Having a bachelor's in IT or computer science is helpful. Absolutely helpful. It's really tough to argue that it's not helpful. However, it is not necessary, and I'm really glad he mentioned that. It is absolutely not necessary to get into this field. I have a bachelor's in English, and I made it. But you don't even need a degree. I know plenty of people that do not have degrees. My boss doesn't have a degree. She doesn't have certifications. She got in. You can do it too.
Some of those related fields, and then maybe you add on to that an additional cybersecurity concentration. So I teach at a local university, and I teach people on that cybersecurity concentration. Another path is an associate's degree. So here you're talking about...
I'm personally not a fan of college degrees. They take so much time. They're super expensive, and it's going to be hit and miss. So he teaches at a community college. Well, that's great for that. Community college has an IBM instructor, but most of them, most security teachers, at least the ones that I've seen, they're just failed. That's harsh. They're not necessarily failed security experts, but they're not necessarily the top of their game. They're not best in class. They're just some people with some experience.
Probably a 2-year degree or some sort of vocational training. And this is going to be something that's going to cost less and still could be a valid entry point. For some folks, it's going to be taking a boot camp. So this is a very specific, intensive, short duration security training. And
if y'all know any good, reliable boot camps, let me know down in the comments below. These sprang up in coding a few years back. Like during COVID, these sprang up like wildfire, where everyone was going to boot camps for coding because who wants to go back to college for 4 years to learn how to code when you can do it in 4 months at a boot camp? These are still really expensive. We're talking $10,000, $20,000, and there's no job placement guarantee. You're probably going to have to quit work and do this full time for 4 months, so there's that added expense. There's no accreditation for these. You don't get like a college degree afterwards. There's no like piece of paper saying, hurrah, I was able to put up with this for 4 years and figure it out. So they're really hit and miss. There's only one, well, really two. The anti-siphon training, which is by John Strand, a Black Hills instructor, a SANS instructor, super good. Check out their courses, anti-siphon training, as well as Josh Madakor. He's a YouTuber. He created a boot camp. I've heard super good things, and it's very affordably priced. I want to say it was like $500 compared to, $10K for a boot camp. If you're going to go like true boot camp, ask them a ton of questions. Ask them all the questions before forking over any dough.
Finally, an option you can consider, and some of these are available online and they're free, is a certificate of some sort. In fact, IBM offers one of these from an organization called Coursera. So if
everyone and their mom has certificates available on Coursera, and there's nothing wrong with getting certificates from there. They're just not industry recognized, generally speaking. Like if you show, oh, I've got an IBM certificate, most HR is like, we've never heard of this one before, right? Certificates are lower than certifications in that they typically don't require any kind of exam to pass. It's just look at the content, take the content, pass it, move on, get the certificate, and you're good to go. Whereas certifications often expire. They don't always expire, but they often expire. They require either retaking the test or getting doing some kind of studying program, educational credits to re-up it, and there's almost always going to be some type of examination, whether or not that's multiple choice, which is whatever, or a hands-on lab to get. So they're higher tier. They teach you skills. They look better on your resume. So certificates are an okay place to go for training, but certainly not the golden standard.
think about this, this is going to be your most expensive of the options. A little bit less, all the way down to, in some of these cases, it's zero. Now, of course, what you're
Actual certs are going to be around $500 mark in general for entry-level IT, for entry-level cybersecurity, which is still way more affordable than a college degree.
spending is going to have something to do with the kinds of jobs and doors that get open for you. So I'm not going to say all of these lead to the same place, but they're all different entry points into the cybersecurity career space. So they all should be considered. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is credentials. So what kind of things do you need to do to get the job? You've got the training, now you have to prove that you're qualified for the job. And the most common of these are professional certifications. The one that's considered the gold standard in the security space is a thing called a CISSP.
I don't get why certifications is called credentials here, why this is a different category. It's still a type of training. There's no certification you're going to get that doesn't also require training of some kind. And the CISSP is not entry level by any means. By any standard whatsoever, they say they require, and they will verify that you have 5 years of experience. I think they'll drop it down to 4 years of experience if you hold some other certification, some other industry recognized certification. But that means you're already working in cybersecurity under a variety of domains for at least 4 years. Not entry level whatsoever. It's also super expensive, and you're going to have to re-up it. It does expire. Yes, it is a gold standard. Don't get me wrong. HR loves it. But it's also for leadership. It's for management. It's not for technical SOC positions, hands-on keyboard, defending or attacking. It's how do you manage a SOC? How do you lead a SOC?
Certified Information System Security Professional. That's the one that most of the jobs are looking for. It's not an entry-level cert, though. In order to get this, it requires 5 years of experience in the field. It requires that you pass an exam that's about 100 to 150 questions, multiple choice. By the way, back in the day when I took the exam, it was 250 questions. So thankfully for those of you coming along, it's gotten easier. There's an ethics statement that you have to sign off on. There is also an endorsement, so you need an existing CISSP to endorse you. And then there's ongoing CPEs, in other words, education credits that you need to be able to get. This is, again, the one that's in most demand, but it's not for entry-level folks to be able to get all of these things. The next one, though, that is a more entry-level cert is Security Plus.
I hate that this is true because I really don't like the certification, but it's true. It's just freaking true. It helped me get a job. It helped me get to a job in cybersecurity from help desk, from entry-level IT into security. Security Plus helped me do it. I don't really love the certification. It's too expensive. It's multiple choice. Really don't like anything about it, other than the fact that it helped me get a job. it's recognized. It's just the certification you need. It's frustrating. It's super frustrating. I wish this wasn't the case.
Security Plus has a lower bar to meet. It's 2 years of experience.
Recommended. 2 years recommended experience, not required. CISSP is required 5 years of experience. You're signing an ethics statement saying, I meet this. You're having someone sign off on you saying they meet this. You don't want to mess around and lie with the CISSP. But Security Plus, it's just recommended experience, meaning you can get it with 0. You can absolutely get it with 0. There's no ethical issue with you getting it before you're in cybersecurity.
There's an exam, there's 90 questions on the exam. So that just gives you kind of a little bit of an idea. So it's not for someone that's brand new, but it's not the same high bar. A lot more people have Security Plus than have CISSP, and jobs are offering positions for people that have that level. Some other certs that you might consider: the CISA for auditors, the CISM for managers.
I don't know what IBM's doing here. CISA and CISM are really expensive certifications. They also require, and I believe require is the correct word here, years of experience. It's not a recommended years of experience, it's a required years of experience. I think it's lower than CISSP, maybe 2 or 3 years, but still, that means it's not entry level. And the first one, CISA, is for auditing. If you want to go the GRC auditing route, absolutely. If you want to go the management route, CISM, sure. Not entry level. Absolutely. There's so many certifications. I'll link down below. Paul Jeremy has a certification roadmap. I'm not kidding you. There are well over 100 certifications on this thing, and they're categorized by niches. So you can really get and choose. Let me just pull it up right now. Let's do this. Paul, oh, there we go. Why did it go away? There we go. It's by niche. So, I mean, this is super cool. Like, if you want to go into networking, check out these green certs here. Whereas if you want to do security operations on the red team, offensive security, check these out. Blue team, defensive security, check these out. So Security Plus, this is the one he was talking about. It's down here on the bottom because it's, entry level. It's just getting you started. Where the CISSP, it's here by the top. It's this black bar by the top, and it goes across so many domains because it's like a mile wide, inch deep. Same thing with Security Plus, mile wide, inch deep. Whereas the CISA is going to be under security and risk management. It's going to be somewhere in here as well. So CISM is right there, and you can see CISM. Paul Jeremy ranks it above the CISSP. So I mean that just goes to show you not entry level. Where's the CISA? Oh, security testing and assessment. So it's kind of in both worlds, in risk management and security testing, auditing, right there. So that gives you like a variety of, he's going from Security Plus, CISA, CISSP, all the way to CISA. But look how many certifications are on here. The whole idea is niche into what you want to go into and hyper-focus in that one area. It does no good. Having 20 certifications on your resume does no good if they're scattered everywhere. But rather, if you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 certifications in one category, that's how you go from beginner into intermediate and advanced. Just go up that chain, figure out, try a few, figure out what you like, right? Do training from multiple, but then go up that chain and just hyper specialize. That's how you make it happen.
A number of different certificates and credentials that could be useful, but those are some of the ones that you might want to consider. Now, how about a career path? Once you've got the training, you've got the certs, you've got the credentials, what are you going to do in terms of your career? Where does all of this lead? Well, there's a great website called cyberseek.org, and it has some nice animations. You're going to see an example right here, where you can start off with a feeder role. So an example, if you start with networking experience, and then from there, you can lead to an entry-level cybersecurity position, and then from there, you can see what sort of mid-level cybersecurity positions that might lead to, and then ultimately what sort of advanced positions all of this could lead to. So that's a great resource for you to go and explore and look and see what kinds of things
I've used this resource. It's pretty cool, especially as like you're just getting into things. But you'll find as you progress, it starts to be somewhat inadequate because there are so many different jobs, there are so many different niches, there's so many options available that it's just, you would need a mega chart, a massive chart to show how it all works. So it's really good as like a high level overview and to get excited and to kind of figure things out. But you'll see, like once you're like 1 or 2 years into security, possibilities are endless. There are so many niches. It's ridiculous.
You're interested in and where all of this can lead. Finally, I told you I would give you some resources. What kinds of things are out there to help you once you want to try to do something like this? Well, I already mentioned one, and that's cyberseek.org, which again allows you to explore these career paths and certification paths and things of that sort. Another really good one is from Coursera and IBM. IBM worked with Coursera to develop a certificate for an example like this, an online cert. Doesn't cost you anything to do, and it will introduce you to the field of.
It does cost you money. It's free for the first 7 days, but then I want to say it's $49 a month. And even if you complete it within the first 7 days, totally possible because you're just watching videos, if you want that certificate in your name and print it out and put it on your resume, you have to pay the $49 to get it. Doesn't matter if you finish the content in 1 day, in your free trial period. If you want the piece of paper, you got to pay the money. Which, in the grand scheme of things, $49 is nothing. I get $49 can be a lot of money, but $49 is nothing when you're trying to achieve $100,000 a year plus salary. You're going to have to put some money into training, into certifications, and into your career transition. It's just going to cost money. It costs me more than it should. I would want to say maybe $1,000, $1,500 is a very reasonable amount of money that you'll likely have to spend if you go the traditional route. It is what it is.
Cybersecurity as an analyst. And then finally, a place like IBM.com/jobs. If you are interested in a cybersecurity job at IBM, and again, I get these questions all the time on LinkedIn, and this is my answer to folks. Go look there. That's where we post all of our openings. And of course, there are a lot of others out there as well. So the good news is there's lots of money to be made. There are a lot of positions to be filled. If you want some of this, this is how you get it. Thanks for.
Honestly, check out IBM's channel. They come out with a ton of great content. I really enjoy just watching them on my in between while I'm working on alerts or whatnot. I'll watch some IBM videos. They tend to be top quality. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one.